I press this button. I press this button.
60, 59, 58. This is a countdown
57,
to the Slade and Mayson show. 5, 4. This continues to be a countdown to the Slade and Mayson show. 50, 49, 48. You're listening to the countdown to the Slade and Mason show. 45, 44, 43. This is the continued countdown to the Slade and Mason show. 39, 38, right 37. You're listening to the countdown. 34, Slade and Mason show. 33, please stand by. As you're listening to the countdown to the Slade and Mason show. 27. This is Source 25 to the Slade and Mason show. 22. We continue 21 with the countdown to the Slade and Mason show. 18. 17. Stand by. 16. As we are 15, now delivering the countdown 14, to the Slade and Mason show. 12. 11. Ivory. This is our countdown to the Slade and Mason show.
Shut up.
6. 5. 4.
Here we go.
3. 2. 1.
Quack, quack, quack.
Now broadcasting from the Dan Mason Studios, deep in the heart of Virginia, it's the Slade and Mason Show.
I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mason.
And this is the Slade and Mason Show.
Good morning, Mr. Slade.
What are all you people doing in my bedroom?
Oh, we're starting right away. Well, good morning, everybody. This is the Slade and Mason Show. It's all about you and us. It's like a radio program. We are such liars. But only better. We're going to share with you news stories and things we see throughout the week. It's just our take on it, really. Just calm down. Calm down. Because basically, it's something you'll never hear on the radio because we're just trying to have fun. Don't take it too seriously because, look, JD's having fun. You having fun, JD?
Yes, you see in YouTube just a whole lot more liberal than the FCC.
God. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. All the music is brought to you by Dano Music, because you know why, friends? Because we're so cheap. So we put a link over to Dano's music. You can check out some of his music and go, they chose that out of all this music. We have an Instagram page, the SladeandMasonShow.com. You can go check out the picture from 2016. Don't forget to tell your friends, neighbors, cops you see, anybody, just scream out, hey, the Slade and Mason Show. And they go, what medication are you on? And as always, we are brought to you by I See Something, I See Treats. We'll talk about that a little bit later, about that and my buddy Sheila Keenan. So you have anything to introduce us with, JD, this week?
As a matter of fact, I do. Just before we started, of course, I invested in a new product that I found on the shelves of my local grocery store.
I was wondering how 420 Day went for you.
Oh, hold on now. Don't get ahead of me here. These are called Pop-Tart Bites. Now, what they are little teeny-weeny Pop-Tarts. And the reason that these are perfect is going to be because of this week's rant.
Oh.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is this song is called "I'm Smoking Some Weed." For those of you who are not familiar, this past Monday was a national holiday for me. I took it off because the bosses don't understand that, but it was 420 Day, and on that day, of course, there are those who imbibe in taking in. There was a lot of coughing going on. Let's just put it that way.
And the air had a sickeningly sweet smell about it.
that smells a little like sage and pepper. But listen, I mean, listen. This is a very good movement here. I'm telling you. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
A survey reveals that, let's see here, 14% of people smoke marijuana on a regular basis. And 50% of people, they have tried marijuana. And those 50%, 80% of them returned. 60% of Americans think marijuana should be legalized. Yeah, well, see again, it's getting there. 51% of parents, you who have 14 children, smoke marijuana.
Oh.
60% of marijuana users do not have a college degree, which means that I'm the exception to the count.
You're the 40.
93% of weed smokers, they never toke in front of their kids. That is another one of those standard rules that, again, my kids are now grown, so I don't, again, we ain't got to worry about that. But while they were growing up, they never knew that the old man had a.
Yeah, they did.
I had the cannabis virus. So, all right. So now I come back and I return because there's been a lot of studying on marijuana. It's like, now here's one study that the University of California and Duke found that pot smokers are more likely to be paid less and have relationship difficulties than those who don't smoke weed.
And live in their mom's basement.
Hey, Dan.
What?
Okay, so what is your current marital status? And as long as I remember, you don't smoke weed.
No.
So
Tried it when I was 13 years old.
So, well, yeah, but you weren't married then, so it's like that don't count. All right, so here we go. There, I'm going to punch a hole in the University of California and Duke University because it's like now. Oh, now hold on.
They did extensive studies before, during, and after class.
Now, I will say this much because they are part right. Let's see. Marijuana smokers are likely to be paid less and have relationship difficulties. Now, I do make less money than you do.
Okay.
But, again, I don't worry about the relationship because I have a relationship with me, and that's the best relationship.
Yeah. We needn't get into that.
And so, okay. So now there again, there's the hole in the argument. There's the hole right there. You don't smoke pot, but you make more money than I do. But I'm having a hell of a lot more fun than you are.
Oh my goodness gracious! So where do you know where the term 420 came from? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
You don't remember?
I
Do you remember anything?
Everything's just one big haze.
The smoky haze at that point.
See now. Oh, that is the haze that Jimmy Buffett was singing about in Come Monday. Okay. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze.
Oh man! So apparently, let's see, 1971. There were 5 high school students in San Rafael, California, used the term 420 for the clock time in connection with the plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop based on a treasure map made by its grower. And they call themselves the Waldos. Get it? Yeah, I can't make this stuff up.
Waldos. Now,
their typical hangout spot was a wall, get it? The Waldos, outside the school. The students whose names I will not mention.
Yeah, we want to mention their names.
All right.
Because they're now 80 years old.
All right. Steve Capper, David Reddix, Jeffrey Knoll, Larry Schwartz, and Mark Gravich designate the Louis Pasteur statue on the grounds of San Rafael High School as the meeting place. And at 4:20 p.m., is their meeting time. The Walders refer to this plan as the phrase 420 Lewis. After several failed attempts to find the crop, the group finally shortened the phrase simply to 420, which ultimately invoked a code word to teens, meaning to consume marijuana. And that is where 420 started.
Okay, so now with that in mind,
yes,
of course, we now speed ahead 45 years, and on this 20 day, you know, up until a couple of years ago, Harvard University was usually the big place, man, where they would just get together and just
Harvard
puffins.
Yes, hello.
Yes, I mean, you know, again, but that's because they were smoking the quality of herbs. In other words,
they smoke Northern Panamanian.
Yes, exactly.
Pulled from people who were exposed to terrible diseases and mosquitoes.
And last names, you know, there it is. So, but here we go. You know, it's amazing how many people smoke pot and don't admit it. But you have to have, I have to have rules. I mean, it's like I'm just one regimented. Number one, because I do a morning show, there is no way I could possibly go ahead and do anything and then talk about coming to work, because here's how my morning show would sound. Good morning, everybody. You're getting ready to go out. It's going to be a lot of sunshine today, and right now I've got to eat this Oreo.
In other words, 1970s FM New York radio.
Oh, man, listen, when I got into album rock, I was as happy as a pig in slop because it's like here I would go on the air at 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you would go ahead and imbibe it. So then you were ready. You had your FM voice then. It was like, 94 Rock, WI. That's coming up for you. And Mountain. Right now, here's her Clapton.
He used to have a nice speaking voice. Something happened to him at night.
All right. So with that in mind, of course, and because I do a morning show, there's a lot of moving parts that go into a morning show. So I got to be able to keep my wits about me. But do you know that 9% of Americans smoke weed before they go to work?
I think I work with some.
It's like, and in your line of work, and I won't go ahead and give that away, but in your line of work, you would think that the problem that you would have if you had somebody who was imbibing is that they would get into the Babylon. It's like, again, just start rambling on and on and on.
Oh, we have that. We have that. There are people, not in my group, I don't think, but support groups I've heard.
Those are the ones you want to watch out for. If you want to go ahead and get the P test, they're the one you want to give them to.
Well, we don't P test where we work.
I won't work anywhere that does.
Yeah, if you did, the place would be empty. Oh my gosh! It's interesting because they're like, it's not a welcome on the campus. The campus. I don't know, work like you can't have it at work. Can't drink at work. But I mean, whatever.
Thanks to modern technology and these vape pens, man, it's like okay. So I'm gonna tell tale.
Can you put stuff in there?
Oh yeah. Listen. All right. My buddy, and I won't mention his name because, we don't want to get anybody in trouble.
No.
But anyway, he works in a manufacturing plant that deals with the housing industry.
Oh, nice.
And in this place, there are a lot of people who imbibe, who celebrate 420 every day.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Every hour of every day.
It's the most wonderful hour of the day.
So,
what happened? I'm awake, therefore I will some weed.
So,
all right.
So, anyway, so these people are walking around So they came up when they came up with these vaping pens, and of course they do make cannabis mixtures for the vaping pen. So, and here's
Why
the
not?
stupid thing though. The original vaping idea was that you could do it, and it's like nobody could smell it, and it didn't have any scent. It's like, but you would have the feeling of getting that smoke in your lungs.
Yes.
Well, I don't care what anybody says; those things stink. Hank tells he looks like he looks like it looks like one of those scuba tanks.
Yeah.
It looks like a doggone scuba tank. And he's like, he comes in, he goes, that's pulling it in. And then it's like, and then there's this big cloud of smoke. And it's like, wait a minute. We're not supposed to be smoking in the building.
Yeah, we don't allow those in our building because they feel it's very confusing as to whether or not a fire has just started or whether or not you're vaping. So they go, you know what? Well, just do it outside. Just do it outside. So.
All right. So these people in the housing industry, making sure that your new home is constructed properly, are sitting around vaping cannabis pens all day long. And so when you go through the plant, you hear, because they're bold. They figure, hey, it's like I can get away with this standing right on the floor. So you're like,
and they do.
You hear.
Must have gone down the wrong way, huh?
And that's where you hear that in one corner, and then you hear. So then it's just like this one big circle. You ever singing around?
Yeah.
Row your boat.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the coughing starts. And it starts around the building, and it's like you can find everybody who's got a vape pen by just listening. All right, so
they're in the housing, and I'm just thinking they're going, oh, is that 12 inches on center or 16 inches or?
And here's the thing. Now I'm going to tell you what they do. See, they deal with building the eaves of your house.
How's that roof look for you now, guys? Oh man.
Now this is just like I say. Now I am conscientious enough where even if I were to do it, I'm not going to destroy anybody's life.
No.
In the process. Whereas these people, they're putting together the most expensive investment you're going to make in your life.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. So, do you ever talk to him about that?
No. I talked to my friend about it, and it's like, and that's usually in the middle of here.
You do this at work too? Yeah. How do you focus? What?
And here's the other thing. Now you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The machine that my friend works on.
Yeah.
It makes knives in which to cut wood for eaves.
Oops. Oh, so he's playing with sharp things too. This is great. Oh my dear God in heaven. So,
No, hold on. I got only two more.
Okay.
And then it's like, you can have it. All right. So now you have these people, 9.7% smoking weed before work.
Or during.
Or during. The unemployment rate at the current time or before things was about 3%, which means that 90% of these people have jobs. Important jobs like building your house,
That's
operating on your relatives.
16 inches on center. Let's see. Let's see. The ventricle goes to the right-hand side of the heart.
81% of weed smokers have purchased their marijuana illegally.
Oh, you think so?
Even though weed can be purchased for medicinal use in 23 states and the district.
Oh, yeah, medicinal. I got a headache. Oh, here you go. Here's a note. Okay, enjoy. Bye.
I got an ache right here. I took care of it.
Well, we talked about this. You could save the seeds and grow your own. I mean, you don't have to buy it.
No, you can't, because then you become a distributor, and that's against the law. This is where the pot laws are going to just really be screwed up, because if you legalize it, the federal government will not let you put your money in the bank, because that's ill-gotten gain.
Well, that's the other thing. Now, the industry I work with, and I can't really talk about what I do, but
I know that's okay.
Yeah, so we have people who are not so much in that industry, but they sell was it CBD?
Yeah, CBD, which is like non-alcoholic beer. What's the purpose?
Yeah, so what's the purpose? But the point is, it's still a derivative of. And we tell them, I said, well, we can't help you because it's not federally recognized. Even though it's a derivative, it's not federally recognized as something that they will approve. Therefore, we can't, not that we can't, that we choose not to. And then I got these people on the phone, and they're telling me how, like, they've gone through all the federal regulations, they know there's no violation, and I go, got it? We choose not to. And then the 4-letter words. So anyway,
Fred?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Mark?
Luke?
John?
Oh my goodness gracious. So guess what I did this weekend?
You smoked pot.
No, I did not. But the term No, the term 420 did come up though.
Okay.
So here's what happened. All right. So
here's what happened. Now it happened like this.
I had a 2005 Nissan Altima. Now, I don't know if you know anything about this vehicle, but apparently it's like the luxury mobile of Nissans. Okay, even to the point where the Nissan Altima competed with the which one's the step up? It's the what's the highfalutin Nissan version? Anyway, I forget. Anyway, so to the point where the management said, okay, that's it. No more of these refinements. Don't put these refinements in. Forget it. 2005 was the last year. But so purchased this car on a whim. Turns out it had a flooded engine, so we cleared that all out. Needed a new timing chain, got that fixed. Needed a front end, took care of that. And then there was like this weird rattling noise. And now my brother's been pretty cool about fixing it all himself instead of taking it to a repair shop. But it got to the point where he pulled the engine out, and he's taking it apart, and it's like, well, it needs this little stabilizer thing. It's only $150. Okay, great. Oh, and then it needs a such and such kit. That's about $150. Okay, great. Oh, I took the cover off this other thing. It needs another, but it's $150. I'm like, all right, stop. Every time you open up something, it needs another $150 part. And we haven't even taken the valve covers off yet. So we bundled the whole thing up. He stuck the engine in the trunk of the car, and we took it down to the local junk shop, and I got $200 for it. I took a beating. So I'm out a lot. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no lie. It's like, I tell you what, I need to get you to invest in my companies.
So I go down to a used car lot yesterday, and because there was this 2004, I think it was, Toyota Sienna that I was looking at that had a lot of miles on it, but the Siennas can eat those up without a problem. So I go there, and I'm looking at the car, like, this car looks like a really good shape. I'm thinking. Guy comes out, we don't shake, we just kind of wave to each other, and he's, interested in this? Yeah, I'm interested in this. He goes, so what's the story? He says, well, here it goes.
Here it goes.
Well, here's the deal. If you're here in town, it's okay. You can drive it. It'll pass inspection. Just pass inspection. Yeah, I see that. It passed inspection. What's the story? He says, well, it's got a code. It's got a code coming on. Oh, okay. What's code for? Well, we don't do that kind of work here. I got it. What's the code for? Emissions. So if you're, and I'm like, well, I'm in Stafford County. I have to pass emissions. So he says, I said, so do you know the code? And he goes, yeah. What? Are you sitting down for this one?
Yeah.
It's 420. I don't know if it was intentional or what have you, but you know what it is? It's for bad emissions. Blowing out bad smoke. And the back end for the catalytic converter. I cannot make this stuff up. You Google it, 420. Look up the emission code for a 2004 Sienna. And that's exactly what the code is. Oh, God. Needless to say, I didn't purchase the vehicle because that would be yet another project going on. So with that in mind, guys, we'll be right back.
Sadly, however, we will return to the Slade and Mayson Show.
Today in history, April 26th, 1607. English colonists make landfall at Cape Henry, Virginia for the first time. Of course, they found traffic kind of bad because all the vacationers were down there and the food lines didn't have any food left and the water was pretty bad, but hey, they made it. 1803, thousands of meteor fragments fall from the sky in France, convincing the European science community that meteors exist. Guys, there's water in the ocean. If you touch it, it's wet. You need to wait to see that stuff come down from the sky to call it rain? Jeepers creepers. 1865. Union cavalry troopers corner and shoot dead John Wilkes Booth, the alleged assassin of President Lincoln. So much for questioning. 1933. The Gestapo, the secret police force of the Nazi Germany, is established. Colonel Klink is quaking in his boots. 1962. NASA's Ranger 4 spacecraft crashes onto the moon. This sucker was stocked full of all sorts of neat scientific equipment so they could measure seismic activity, gamma rays, and... oops, landed it on the far side of the moon. We'll never see that one again. And finally, 2011. Katie Couric announces that she will no longer host the CBS Evening News. But a couple months later, she signs a $40 million contract with ABC. Woohoo! So I guess she'll be okay then. I mean, $40 million, that should hold her off for a couple weeks. I'm Dan Mason, and that's April 26th.
If you have tried to start a family and you just can't seem to, call the experts at Kenner's Pond Medical Center. With years of experience, we have a 100% fertility record. That is, if you're not in a family way within 3 cycles, there is no charge. Meet the man behind the system.
Hey there, Carmine DeGuzio. I've been getting women fertile for years. I don't use them IVF or IUI systems. I do it the old-fashioned way, just like your dad did years ago. Think you can't get pregnant? Don't worry about it. Send me an 8x10 color picture of yourself, then we'll talk. A little wine, some Italian food will stop at my place, and bam! It'll be like magic.
So if you're ready to start your family the safe and natural way, call Kenner's Pond Medical Center and have your photo ready. Kenner's Pond Medical Center, ready every night.
Sorry about that, gang. But now we must return you to the Slade and Mayson show.
Great. There's another song that's going to get us dinged.
Hi, I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mason,
and this is the Slade and Mayson Show.
Alrighty. That was, of course, Andre Music's orchestra with M. Freiberg as the conductor, with the Pretzel Bender Serenade in commemoration of today being National Pretzel Day. So,
ladies and gentlemen, my guest, Joe Franklin.
Thank you, Mr. Slade. This program is brought to you by Martin Paints. Martin Paints available in 420 primary colors. Martin Paints paints the world. We'll be seeing a little bit of Jimmy Stewart movie with Rita Hepburn right after the break. But we'll take it away to you, Mr. Slade, after Dan Mason tells us who our other sponsor is. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, hey, this part of the program is brought to you by I See Something. I can't even do this. This program, Jello pudding. All right, this part of the program is brought to you by I See Something Icy, Shaved Ice and Treats by my buddy Sheila Keenan. So it's a really great setup here. She's got this big, huge food truck. She's got 2 cutters, and basically she shows up at your birthday party, corporate event, fundraiser, whatever it is. Shave the ice, put the flavorings on.
She cut you bad, man. She cut you bad.
She cut you bad, man. Oh, my gosh. She and her husband, Al, have this neat little truck. So I would set it up because they are filling up pretty quickly because summer's coming. Give them a call at 804-617-8827. That's 804-617-8827. Or visit their website at www. Leave those off. Just go to icesomethingicy.com. So it's ICEYSOMETHIN. Leave the G off for goodness sakes. ICEY.com. They're also available on Instagram, where they have a picture that's more up to date than ours, and Facebook. They're there as well. Again, give her a call, 804-617-8827. 804-617-8827. That's 804-617-8827. That's 804-617-8827. It's like he's clairvoyant. He knows these things. Oh, my gosh. All right. Now, before we get too far, now, for those of you who are looking at us at YouTube, you're going to see a picture of this. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and share with you what this is. Now, last week we tried the white chocolate peanut M&Ms, and they were hatefully horrible. Today, I have in my hands a 2.83 ounce sharing size, because that means I'm not going to eat all these. Yeah, right. These are referred to as Fudge Brownie. Now, I love brownies. I love brownies when they're made right.
That's why we're partners.
That's right. So, that's not what I mean, you jerk. Not talking 420 brownies. I'm talking just regular brownies when they're done right. But to be honest, I think fudge is overrated. So, here we go. Let me open it up, and we'll do a live examination of the flavoring.
Of course, if he's away, it's like you're wrong now. This is to the side.
You know how when you eat a peanut M&M and like it tastes like it's burnt, and you keep eating it anyway, as bad as it tastes? That's what that was.
I take it that you are enjoying the taste of.
No.
Oh
No. It tastes like burnt.
So this is another one of those failed M&M things,
God.
huh?
That's disgusting. It's like burnt chocolate. Why would you want to? Why would you want to burn chocolate? Yeah, that's what it tastes. It tastes like a burnt chocolate. Yeah, this is terrible. You should all go out and try one.
Yeah, that's what M&M says. You should all go out and try one.
All right, I did it for you guys. What the? That is disgusting. Anyway, Fudge Brownie M&Ms. Yuck.
My friend,
I did it for you guys. I hit the bullet. I did it.
I am going. Hey, right now, Dano.
Yeah.
Right now, I am sharing a Facebook video with you, and I want you. I really do. I want you to take a look at this, and then I want you to give me your absolute honest opinion. Okay.
Sickening.
Now, while you are looking at that, let me just finish telling you about with 420 having just come and passed, another successful 420, by the way. A study by Louis Morier Hospital in France reveals that marijuana users are less likely to be obese than non-potheads. Now, I can't figure out how that works.
Because they're all sound asleep.
I mean, between the French onion dip and Doritos and the Oreos and the Pepperidge Farm chocolate cakes. Well, anyway, researchers studied 50,000 people and found that 22 to 25% of non-tokers were obese, while only 16 to 17% of potheads were overweight. Obesity became less common the more frequently cannabis was used. Of those who used marijuana at least 3 days a week, just 14% were obese. And so that means that I'm only like 2% obese.
That's great.
This is an informative program, I'm telling you. I do want to warn you, though, of one thing, gentlemen, men in the audience. Yes, marijuana has its benefits, but it also has its detractions. And this is one that I need for you to pay attention. All right? Because Detroit plastic surgeon Anthony Young says that told CNN that men may develop man boobs if they smoke weed.
Well, I'm never going to touch that.
Well, weed causes testosterone levels to fall, and that man boobs are caused by an imbalance in levels of testosterone and or estrogen. So, can smoking pot really give you man boobs? Probably. Although the association between marijuana and what it is called, it's gynecomastia, hasn't been conclusively proven. It appears very plausible. And for this reason, the majority of plastic surgeons I've consulted with routinely inquire with their patients about cannabis use and recommend they stop smoking pot immediately.
What was that word? What was the word? What is it?
It was gynecomastia.
Gynecomastia. So I tried to make that this weekend. I started with a gallon of milk, and I brought it up to 90 degrees Celsius, and then I dropped it down to 40 degrees Celsius, and I added the salt, and then I pitched in the yogurt, and then I added the rennet, and I waited the hour, and nothing happened. So the gynecomastia, I just had to pour it down the drain.
All right, so that's my health warning to you. If you are a pot smoker and you are a male, chances are you are probably going to have breast.
Oh my God!
Are you understanding? No need for plastic surgery. Just smoke pot and boom.
Does it work for women?
Yeah, it doesn't say whether that works for women.
Because I'm thinking if you're like a flat-chested female.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden, boom, 42 Ds. All right, so. All right, and there is a law, there is a courtesy among pot smokers, just like there's an unwritten rule in jail.
Mm.
You know what male prisoners do not like in jail?
Bars of soap. Oh, sorry.
They do not like child abusers, and they do not like wife beaters.
No, I know
that is just a code in jail, and that will get you killed if you are brought into jail being convicted of either one of those. Here is the deal. It's like if you're sitting around in a circle, it's a courtesy thing. The deal is puff, puff, pass. That's puff, puff, and then hand it off to the next guy. That by the time you get back around, you'll have done your coughing and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, there are people who are just, well,
Puff,
there
puff,
was a
puff,
song
puff,
written
puff,
about
puff.
them. There was a song written about them, and I don't know if you know the song. It's called Don't Bogart That
The
Joint.
joint, my
friend.
friend. Yeah, I know it.
Pass it over. All right. So members of Sky Condoms reveals that marijuana smokers make love on a daily basis more often than non-smokers. How do they know?
Not that they can remember it, but
I was doing something. I just don't know what it was. All right. 37% of daily marijuana smokers have had 15 or more sexual partners compared to 14% of those who have never smoked weed. Are you sure you didn't smoke weed, Dan?
Yeah.
Daily marijuana smokers have had more hookups than those who've never smoked. I must not be doing something right, man, because I ain't hooking up with nobody.
God.
And I got moves.
Got moves.
Daily marijuana smokers are more likely to use dating sites. Well, there it is right there, because I won't touch a dating site. Not with a 10-foot pole. All right, well, there you go. Now, hopefully, by the time you are done with this program, you have been absolutely educated on the ills and evils of cannabis.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I say goodbye, stay high.
So you mentioned dating games, but dating services. But did you know? This is so weird. I did not know this. Steve Martin was on the dating show.
You mean the dating game?
The dating game show. Yeah, he was on there as a male humanoid to date. So they had the three guys. And
Jim Lennon he was just such a flathead, but it's like it was always all right. So bachelors, if you were a lollipop, what would you have this lady say to you?
Well, why don't you lick my back? But he'd say stuff like that, and it was like, so she says, where would you like to go to just, get away from it all? And he says, there's nothing like going into a laundry, what did he say? There's nothing like going into a linen closet and just kind of, stretching your arms as far as your eyes can go. And I'm like, what? She's like, okay. Like every answer he gave was like, okay, yeah, bachelor number 3. And who did she choose? Steve Martin.
Did she really?
Yeah, she says, you and a chaperone will in part of Borrego. Hey! So that was really, I watched that. I'm sorry. That was an hour.
Well, again, I see, I just have this.
And he was writing for Laughing at the time.
I see. I'm just old fashioned. I'm sorry. I got to do it the old fashioned way. Let's meet and let's talk and let's be uncomfortable. You're not going to eat because you don't want me to see how much you're going to eat in a meal, and I'm going to keep from farting in front of you just to be polite. And again, and you're going to go through that lazy dance. And I'm finding that as I get older, that dance is just not very attractive to me
It's
anymore.
not. You wake up in the morning, you're like, glad I'm the only one here in the room. Those beans are doing really well.
I mean,
wallpaper's peeling off. I don't know. It's just...
in nature, they've got that peacock that does that dance when it spreads its tail out there, and it's trying to attract the female peacock.
Yep.
I'm thinking, man, I don't really have time for that. I don't really care.
I ain't putting my feathers on for nobody.
Hey, here we go.
So now we kind of bring it up here. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that everything that's good for you gives you really bad gas? What? Let's go down the list. Broccoli.
Yeah.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
Yeah.
Oatmeal. One of my favorites, man. I could love me some oatmeal.
Bran muffins.
Bananas. Fresh fruit. Eggs. I mean,
and remember, the government says this is the stuff you need to be eating.
right. Now, the stuff that you shouldn't be eating that doesn't cause gas, to me anyway, French fries, cheeseburgers, shakes, Cokes.
McDonald's really sends me. McDonald's and country cooking.
I know, but I'm like,
if I have been blocked for days, I can go to either one of those places, and the problem is solved within 20 minutes.
Hey, that's interesting. I should go through drive-through. Thank you, McDonald's. How can I help you? Oh gosh, the selections. Can I get a breakfast sandwich here? Oh, yeah, let's put plenty of cheese on there. That'd be a great idea, yeah. Ooh, ouch. Ooh, ow. Can you hurry it up? Because, I got to get this eaten right away. I can just imagine going to my doctor. Well, here you go, Mr. Mason. Well, I was going to recommend Kaopectate, but I think McDonald's is open until 9 o'clock this evening, so you can go over and get yourself a mixed sandwich. Oh, thanks. Oh my God! I gotta go.
And you see, and here's the thing about country cooking. I mean, because when I go to country cooking, that salad bar just looks like, oh yes. And you just pile stuff on. I don't know what they wash the vegetables in or whether it's something they rinse the vegetables in.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
Country kitchen.
I mean, I will be going to town. I mean, it's like I'll have sparks flying off my fork. I'm eating this stuff so fast. But then 20 minutes later.
Well, I'll tell you this. So it could be the country kitchen is using their old style recipes from 1924. I have from cookbooks from 1924, and I have a salad that utilizes a special oil that makes it so delicious and smooth and yummy, and it's also used for keeping car parts from falling out of your car. They use it's clear, it's flavorless, it's slick, it's mineral oil. That's what I use for keeping my cutting knives from getting rusty.
See, now you just reminded me.
And you mix that into the food in a salad. So.
My mom was just a cruel wench. I just think about it because she, if I would get upset stomach, her solution was?
We had baking soda and water.
Wait a minute. First, she would break out the orange. And she would cut the orange in 4. Mm-hmm. And then she would bring out the cure. Here comes the castor oil.
Oh, no. So we didn't have castor oil growing up.
Oh, and if you have never put castor oil in your mouth, it is like it is what I would imagine putting motor oil in your mouth.
Well, it's pretty darn close to it.
And it goes down so nasty and slowly. And I wouldn't care if you had an orange the size of a basketball. It is not going to wipe that nasty, gross, slimy, greasy taste out of your system.
Yeah, delish.
I believe my mom was a cruel woman now that I think about it. Because, see, again, cultural differences. Mm-hmm. You had mercurochrome. I had iodine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had PHISOHEX. We had PHISOHEX. Remember that?
No.
PHISOHEX was actually it's illegal. You can't get it anymore. It was
like a lot of things.
Well, now that it became Physoderm, I guess later on.
Oh, that's what you use to clean your face, isn't it?
No, but at the time when we had it, PHISOHEX, we got that from our local doctor. It was a green container about yay tall. It was about 11, 12 inches tall, about 3 inches in diameter. Had a little flip top, and we used to, every time you had a cut or a burn or something like that, we'd pour the PHISOHEX right on top of it. And yeah, it killed the enzymes and things that are trying to grow in your cut, but it was deadly poisonous. So it was taken off the market, but my mother would keep talking the doctor into getting her prescription for it, and then she'd get it refilled all the time. So as long as she had the green bottle, she could go down to the pharmacy. They just fill it up. There you go. Have a nice day, Mrs. Mason. That was
Dan?
it.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, I think she was trying to kill the children.
Yeah, but it only caused poisoning over tiny doses over a long period. Oh, wait a minute.
So this was called PHISOHEX, and then they took it off the market, and it became Physoderm.
Physoderm.
And I'm not sure, but Physoderm, I think, is an acne medication.
Yeah, I think it is at this point.
But I wouldn't know because I've never had acne, because I have beautiful brown skin that is clear and doesn't break out, because no matter how many greasy things I eat.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. PHISOHEX, disinfectant cleaner.
Okay, here's my bone I'm going to pick with you, and I'm going to pick it in public.
All right.
So last week,
Yeah,
on the show,
this show,
I took a look at our webpage, and I got to tell you, that purple hoodie, I fell in love with it, and I thought, I'm going to surprise Dan. So when I ask him if anything's been sold, he's going to look and go, yes! So I go to our webpage. I go through and I go through all the humiliation of entering all my information.
Mm-hmm.
Name, address, mailing address, credit card number,
mother's maiden name.
And, oh, yes, credit card number, expiration date, and that's ES code.
Yep.
Blah, blah. I put all that stuff in.
Yep.
I have got my shirt picked out because it's the purple hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to click, and all of a sudden, here's this red bar.
Sorry,
Return is declined.
card cannot be processed at this time.
Yeah. All right. So
go ahead.
I try again. I think, well, maybe I did something wrong. So I'm very carefully entering all the digits, and then I hit send. Dun! This card is declined. Now I'm getting ticked because I know that this card should not be declined.
And I know which day this was because it was on a day that, well, you were sampling. Well, you were celebrating. You were celebrating, but hard.
But which is why then I took the high road and I said, well, let me call my partner because it's like, he helped set up this page. It's like, and maybe he can. So then not only do I do know that if things start disappearing or getting charged to my card, I know one other person who has the number. I give my partner the number, and he goes on while I'm sitting on the phone with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, okay.
Nothing.
Huh?
Nope.
Huh?
Yep.
Huh?
Declined.
So now here is what I would have done if it had been our positions had been reversed.
Uh-huh.
I would have said, well, okay, JD, look, I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and see if I can get my card to work, and then I'll buy it, and then you just reimburse me for the damn hoodie.
So here's what I did.
Did you order it for me?
No, here's what I did. I contacted the live chat, and I said, hey, question for you. Do you guys take debit cards?
And he said, no.
And he said, of course we do. We take anything. Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. And so, well, I put this card in, it didn't take. And they said, oh, try it again. That was their only solution. It's just try it again. So if you're at the website and you're trying to order and you want my body and you think I'm sex. No, that's not where I'm going.
I'm going to reach through this line and just slap the holy taste out of your mouth.
So apparently it's not running the way it's supposed to.
My purple hoodie. And you know what? I'm going to go on strike until I get my purple hoodie.
Strike? You mean you're not going to be funny?
You find a way to get your system to get me my purple hoodie by this time next week, or I will be a silent partner.
Promise?
We can start right now.
Hi, I'm JD Slade.
I'm Dan Mason,
And this is the Slade and Mayson Show.
Say goodbye, Mr. Slade.
Man, are you kidding already?
Sorry.
No.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Slade.
Goodbye, Mr. Mason.
Hey, bring that over here. I got the fire. You know, when people come to my house and come by my house, they do hear a lot of talking. We're just very quick.
You know, it's always fun hearing JD trying to talk over the man. Can't even understand who the man's saying. Just keeps talking and talking and talking. It's really annoying.
That's because I want people to have to kind of figure out what I just said.
I have to grab like last week's recording and like mute out the music in the background just to hear people talking. Changing gears.
We're going to do another show another this week. Oh, we still got another 40 seconds to fill here before
Yeah,
we
there we
can
go. So, all right. So we'll be back here next week, everybody.
Same bad time.
Same
bad
bat
channel. Now, I'm going to keep calling you out on this doggone hoodie until I get my hoodie.
Hey man, I don't design the website. I just design the website.
Yeah.
Bye.
So I'm going to try again in the next couple of days to try and get my hoodie. And if I fail, then I'm going to I'm going to report you to the Better Business Bureau. There we go. Now we'll get some attention.